I have like other accounts that are like the models for my account. If you would actually know the models, you would be like, okay, yeah, he's definitely stealing.
Aren't we all doing that though?
We are. You can have great content. You can create a great podcast. But if the title is wrong or sucky, it's just not going to do anything.
I can definitely say 10 years into this, there was a lot of years where I wasted a lot of time on set where I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to show up and we'll get, like, I have ideas in my head.
Sure.
And it's such a waste of time.
Totally. One of the things that I do is I'm like huge on like, number one, if I feel like there's value in it, like meaning there's enough room in the market for us to like, if we were to learn this, there's a lot of people who need this. Number one, I'm like, okay, let's try it. Then number two, my thoughts are, because I don't feel like I am super equipped in this area, I'm going to use a template or a model. So I'm going to find somebody, all the new clients that we get, and we're doing strategy for, or we're taking over their socials. Even our page, I have like other accounts that are like the models for my account that I'm like, if you would actually know the models, you would be like, okay, yeah, he's definitely stealing strategy and everything from him.
Aren't we all doing that though?
We are.
Come on.
And I feel like some people, which I totally understand, some people are against like, which I do feel like you should be against stealing people's like the whole thing.
Maybe let's rephrase it.
Okay,
it's not
rephrase
stealing.
it.
You're
Okay.
just like, all right, there's nothing new under the sun and there's proven methods that are working.
I love it.
So you're just taking a proven method and making it your own.
I love it. Yeah. Well, that's what I do. I do that a lot. I do that really well. Because yeah, when it works, it works. Like if it works, it just works. And no one gets, if something works, not many people are going to say, who did you get it from? Or like, they're just going to be happy it works. They're going to be happy it, your client's going to be happy that, the success is there, the metrics are there. So when it comes to strategy, I'm always looking at like, if it's a construction company or if it's a dental practice, like, man, what are the best dental practices on Instagram? Who's doing the best? And let me look at their stuff. Let me look at how are they laying out their content? How are they posting? What are they posting? Okay. And then I'm going to just reduce it. I'm going to step by step break it down and say, okay, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. Cool. And with there being so many AI tools and like Canva and so many like tools within it, where you can literally take a graphic, put it in Canva and strip the words from it, or like, like take certain things off of something and recreate things. You can literally just put stuff in ChatGPT now and say, hey, look, I like this graphic, put this information on the graphic, and it'll do that.
So is that what fires you guys up more, being able to do from start to finish? Do you feel like, is that fulfilling to you more so than just creating content and like passing it off? It sounds like you kind of like the puzzle pieces too of strategy.
I like the client to feel like they can come here and they don't have to leave. Mm-hmm. So that, I feel like if we can win there and if we can do it efficiently, meaning like, of course, it costs more. Like the project will be a higher value. Sure. But if your expense is off the roof, then it doesn't make sense. So if we can do it efficiently, and I feel like there's a workaround where we can do the same thing fast, then I'm like, yeah, I want to try that, because it makes you different. Because most people and most creatives are like, they're not in for that challenge.
Or not wanting to do it. So really, I just need to bring you the finished product to say, great, can you tell my client the strategy?
Yeah.
What do we do with it?
Yeah, totally. I think, again, like we said, like there's already somebody who's doing it well, and most people are figuring it out. Not many people have it all figured out. Most people are figuring it out. And so I just look at what's working, reduce it, and I mean, for a lot of our clients. And that's how, even for designs, like when I have to do branding, I go on Dribbble. Have you been on Dribbble before?
Yeah.
Okay. Dribbble is one of my places. I have so many
So
processes.
you guys really do a lot of like from start to finish, from branding.
Yeah, we have been doing more
strategy.
of it.
That's
more
great.
of it. Yeah. Want to do more, which is like the whole sales conversation, which we could talk through with the whole like cold email and stuff like that.
Yeah,
let's
do it.
I want to get more into those, because I think, honestly, as of like the last 3 or so months, we've been getting a lot more like people who don't have anything or like very little, and they're like, they're open to a lot, and they see us when we're actually able to get our foot in the door and explain all that we can do. They're really open, like, man, there's budget for it, and so it's made me a lot more curious about, man, how could we take it from ideation to like publishing, not just creating the content. Because when you create great content for your clients that don't know what to do with it, it's still sometimes a fail.
Right.
Because you can have great content. You can create a great podcast. But if the title is wrong or sucky, it's going to be horrible.
Right.
Or it's just not going to do anything. And man, what a title can do. Like if you just give a video a different title or give a video a nice thumbnail, like the difference it can be. It doesn't matter what's in the content. If I won't click on it, I'll never see what's in there,
No,
so.
You're right about that, because we have a couple of clients that we've been talking about partnering with LSU athletics on stuff, which of course, we're here in Baton Rouge, and unless you live under a rock, the phenomenal program they have and how the NIL space has just changed the game for so many corporate and commercial brands. But we've had a lot of conversations where I think brands they get excited about this like flashy idea of partnering with an athlete. But really, it's kind of to your point, you could do a whole commercial or shoot with an athlete and you're not maximizing that effort and the investment if you're not strategizing, okay, well, there's certain times of year and cultural events happening that if this athlete was posting during a certain time, you're going to get way more eyes on it.
Yeah.
Rather than just, oh, I'm excited to throw an athlete in there with no intention behind it.
Yeah. No, that's really true. And that's, so is that something that you feel like you're good at or not?
With that regard, yes. So as far as, helping you strategize what the concept should be, like, if you were going to work with, an athlete is just an example, but even for brands, if it's, hey, your target audience is millennial moms, like, okay, well, first of all, I'm your target audience, so I speak that language, but also just being intentional of like, okay, well, let's figure out like what rollout you have for a new product or something you're trying to promote or seasonal, and let's be intentional about the time of year you're trying to create this around like holidays or certain events happening. So I do feel like our team has gotten really great at helping strategize in that regard, not necessarily like the ad spend side of things and like smaller scale strategy. It's more just, hey, again, if we're creating a concept and it's something creative, there still should be intention about it of, let's not just throw an athlete or a mom in there and their concept feels unintentional and doesn't go with your brand.
Yeah, I feel that.
So we're good about, I love being able to help strategize. How do we make this creative concept be intentional?
I feel that. I love that. I could tell like on your shoots, that's just one of the things. I don't know if it was like how, I do think one of the first times I was on one of your sets, like just peeking in, looking at everything, you had like, a whole bunch of printouts with like images and text. And I was like, okay, so this girl is like super, on point or at least detailed, knows exactly what you want.
A lot of trial and error of knowing what not to do now. I can definitely say 10 years into this, there was a lot of years where I wasted a lot of time on set where I was just like, I'm just going to show up and we'll get, like, I have ideas in my head.
Sure.
And it's such a waste of time.
Totally.
Honestly.
Totally.
So now I don't do any shoot, whether it's big or small, without having a shot list in my head. And maybe we're not going to go off of it verbatim, but it's at least like a guideline of, hey, we were intentionally thinking about what kind of shots we should get, what angles.
Yeah. So bring me through Jessi's approach. Like, how do you build a shot list? Like, is that what it's called? Shot list, right? So how do you what's your process for building a shot list?
It'll vary project to project, right?
Sure.
So obviously if you have a commercial that's more of a storyline where it's very much like, okay, we know we're trying to tell a story here, where it's more narrative, like there's a actual concept happening, right? Like you're showing a mom and something's happening and then there's a problem that's being solved versus like, so that kind of process is different versus even for the law firm shoot that we did here. I had a shot list for that. Her branding video and her pictures, there wasn't a storyline we were telling, right? But it still was, okay, I know that I want to show close-ups of her face because I want to see just like the emotion. She's got a great smile. I want to make sure we're seeing close-ups of each person we're interviewing. I want to see close-up shots of hands. I want to see wide shots to set the scene. So I guess honestly, Pinterest is like my best friend,
I love
right?
it.
You know, I go on there and like try to find something very close to what I'm envisioning. A lot of times it's not close at all. And I'm like, just don't look at my notes, everybody. I know what that shot meant and how it should be translated. So usually it's just pulling inspiration pictures of, okay, this is kind of what I'm thinking, putting it in some order that makes sense, right? So if you know you've got all these wide shots and close-up shots and maybe you're switching lenses out, trying to be intentional about like, let's not just switch the lens out back and forth 10 times. That would be crazy. Let's get like as many of these close-up shots as we can, then get your wide shots.
Nice. So you use Pinterest as a tool for your shot list. Anything else helps you?
Canva. So I'll pull, all the images. And actually, I should get better at, I know Canva, I'm probably not even really utilizing it to the best. Like I'm going on Pinterest when probably, I have plenty of friends that say now you can really pull resources from Canva, right? Like actual images and.
Yeah, you can. Now it won't, like Pinterest is unique because I guess the creators that get to upload their content,
like they're real people uploading great content on there.
I feel like Canva has like companies and other agencies that are uploading like assets and
so is it more limited, do you feel like, the type of content you have access
like I'm not going to Canva for inspiration. I'm going to Canva to build and create, but I'm not going to now their templates. That's where I would go for inspiration.
Right.
So like if we were to look in Canva, which I'm always in.
Always.
So like, this is like when I'm making thumbnails. Like I'm not gonna go. This is the element section, what they're probably talking about. Like I'm not gonna go here for inspiration. Like they have photos, but it's like stock photos, right? So you're not gonna go there for inspiration. They have lots of elements where you can use like graphics where you can get all of these different elements. But it's not going to give me like what Pinterest would give me if I was looking for like designs or.
I guess because you're right. It's creators that are uploading stuff on there. And so there is truly unique stuff that's like, wow, I wouldn't have even thought to do it this angle or 100%. Pairing these things together.
Now, when it comes to like ideation, like their templates area, you'll start seeing some cool stuff here.
Right.
For like, okay, I want to. Maybe if you wanted to get a shot list, you could type in shot list. And
you totally could. Yeah.
You do that? Okay, dope.
So I will upload pictures from my, I'll make a Pinterest board, then I'll start pulling like the ones that I actually want to make for my shot list, throw it on Canva.
Absolutely.
And it depends. I mean, sometimes, you could get fancy with it. Sometimes if I'm just like in a rush, it's like, okay, this shot list is for me. It depends on how many eyes are going to be on the shot list, right? If it's a smaller shoot and it's for me, then I'm like, just go with the easy process.
What's something that you're working on or like in your company that you want to see you get to, or like what's maybe a level or a service or something you're trying to implement into your company that's like maybe a next step, or like, man, in this area I really want to start doing this, or like the next level?
Great question. I guess because I started off doing photography, so that's what I did 10 years ago or 10 plus years ago, and then it slowly evolved into videography. Which was amazing. I kind of fought it for a little while, because it's new, and it's, when something's new, it's intimidating and it's hard to start over at something. But then I found a lot of value in being able to offer clients video and photo, right? Like you need both. You just, as a brand now, you need both. So I would say now we're getting to a point where, because you're right, like you have all this different type of content, like the UGC style content being added to a campaign. So right now a client might come to me and we're doing these really high level commercial videos and these amazing photos, but then there's also this other aspect of like, okay, UGC stuff also performs
much better,
and maybe it's in a different way. Like I think you need both. They have different audiences that they reach, and there's different strategies and tactics that you use. And so now I'm very mindful when I'm seeing big brands that I admire, and I'll pay attention to when they're rolling out a campaign, right? Of, okay, they dropped this kind of teaser and then maybe they mixed in this UGC style, which is interesting because in my mind, sometimes I think as a creator, I might have like turned my nose up at UGC content of like, why would they hire us for that? But I think now I'm realizing there's a world where all of it has a purpose. So being able to say, hey, to your point, I would love for people to be able to come to us and we're thinking about all of those things intentionally. So it's, okay, you have an athlete. Yeah, like we're doing pictures and these high level commercial videos, but also there's this human element that UGC brings. That I think people also really like about UGC, and it takes the polished side and it's very relatable. So we're kind of trying to work on like what does that look like and incorporating that because it's something you also I'm realizing you have to be intentional about. It's not just someone with an iPhone on set come out and grab content and that counts as UGC. It's okay when you see a UGC ad, it was actually very intentional and thought out. So that's just another element of I would love to offer that, but have the strategy behind it if we're being intentional with it.
I love that. I think that's a great observation and like pivot because I think that is like what really not what's next, but what is now. And I think it's because like it's from the perspective of the person that's viewing the content,
right?
Like. One side, I guess, with the polished side, it's like, okay, you want it to look really nice. It adds credibility. You're like, man, that's really nice. But then the other side, it's like, this is, I don't know what the word is, but like, this feels like I can actually do this, or like, I can put that on, or this is how it will actually look.
Just more relatable.
More relatable is the term.
I feel like if you look at, obviously, celebrity endorsed commercials are huge. Probably bigger than ever right now. And I feel like there's this side of it, right? Like we love, or I mean, this could just be me, the polished commercial that feels like really creative and it's just very like far out there. We love and appreciate the creative, but then I'll see that same celebrity in that campaign post some kind of iPhone footage where it was like this behind the scenes and you almost get this like sneak peek into it. Makes you feel like you are now somehow you're friends with this person and you're really not. So you appreciate the really cool polished version as much as the UGC that made you feel like you were on the inside scoop about something happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great pivot. I think everything's going to move that way. I think everything, like you have like in the product section, like when you hit on a product and you see like just that product, they'll have like some like really high polished content, but I've also seen with some brands like in the bottom they'll have some UGC style stuff because when you're in that buying decision phase, you're like, man, how does this actually look, or does this relate to me, or so I think that's a great pivot. Any other things you're thinking of?
I mean, that's the main one.
That's the main one. I love it. So about cold email, tell me about that whole. So before we do that, what are you doing for like marketing and sales? Like, what have you learned as just a business? Like,
I'm laughing because there is no real strategy to it. A lot of this is just like, man, figuring out what works. And
so
what
is it that referrals really work for you?
I think it's a mixture of both, you know?
So tell me your channels. So if referrals are some, what's your other channels of like leads or opportunities?
So again, I can definitely say a few months ago, once I started putting my face out there more, then I feel like the referrals started happening more because it was just easier from a local perspective of there's that trust and so knows you. Maybe they're resharing because they're excited to share something with your face because they're trying to support you and then someone else sees it. As far as brands, because I do work with a lot of brands that are not based here, so there is just not that referral program just doesn't work because.
So how do you get those opportunities?
So it is from cold emailing. Really.
Okay, nice.
So, and obviously, look, that's like, it's a shot in the dark sometimes. I don't have this great method to it. I have been very successful with it, but it's also trial and error. I think sometimes it's very much timing that you really can't control. Like you're kind of just like rolling the dice of, okay, I'm going to make this offer and email thousands of brands. And if this happens to be something that is interesting to them in that moment, then they're going to get a reply. But then sometimes that same offer is not appealing anymore.
Sure.
I'm trying to think, like, okay, for example, during COVID, I did a ton of product only photos and videos, right? Because guess what? No one could go anywhere. Yeah. No one could book models. So at the time, I was getting crazy success with people like, I would love product pictures because we're desperate for content and no one can go anywhere. Fast forward to now, times are so different. I think the product content industry is a lot more oversaturated now as compared to 5 years ago. So now if I was trying to promote, hey, I do product photography and video, I would not have nearly as much success. Like I started seeing that, like, okay.
It's pivot,
So sometimes it's just like guessing game of like, I've got to put 5 or 6 different types of offers out there to see what is interesting to people. Yeah. And maybe I need to send those same 5 or 6 offers, like plan a strategy if I'm going to reach out to the same person with these different offers over time to see they will respond to more.
Are you able to see if they open your emails?
No, because I don't do, we've talked about this. As of right now, I'm literally manually emailing everything, and I have mixed opinions on that. Like, I have gone back and forth of, should I be incorporating AI? And I'm not knocking it.
No, totally. As far as like the copy,
but also just like for mass sending out. So we're just not having to like right now I am manually sending emails. So I have a strategy of, okay, like I really want to be intentional with learning about this person that I'm reaching out to, learning about the brand and recent things that are happening. So I feel like that takes intention. And I know we've talked about it. There are AI programs that do that for you, but I'm on the fence of
I love it.
If it really comes across as authentic and genuine, or if it comes across as can they tell? Do you think that it's a mass email?
I've paused my campaigns just because of bandwidth, because it's you have to take time and you have to sit and like manage and maintenance your email system. It's not something that you just sit like and let. But the first week that I did it, I landed one client. And her response was, I could tell you sat there and made that message for me. And when she said that, I was like, yikes, that's crazy. I was happy, but I was like, bro, that's wow. Because I was like,
you're like,
in my head, I don't even know who you are. I don't know anything about you yet. Like, okay, I knew who she was. I knew some things about her, but like, I didn't really know.
Right.
Because the cool thing about Instantly, that tool is it'll take a personalized line, like out of a paragraph or a body, like the first line can be personalized. And so you can tell it to take the description of every lead and take their description, like their profile bio. And if they say something about them, like something they offer, well, the first line of the message is going to use AI. And so if you send 1,000 emails, every first line is going to be
customized
about a personal, it's going to be about the bio. So you can tell it like what to look at. You can say, look at a post or look at this. Like, but for the one I use, I said, take the bio and personalize the first line off the bio.
Very cool.
And so the first line is just personal. It says, hey, their name. I saw you, da-da-da-da-da. We need to be introduced or something like that. And then it goes on to whatever the conversation was. And then
how's it working?
So that was my only client. So so I'm not able to fully, I know it works because there's so many people in my industry use it. For me, the block or the roadblock that I've hit is, out of everything else that I'm doing, I need to, because I can't just let it sit. And I can't just let it run randomly. Like I need to actually, okay, this copy isn't working anymore. We have to change this copy. Okay, I need to add more leads. What is my avatar? But it's worth it. I just have to, it's just me. I have to fix my system because, I mean, there's not many sales methods where you can reach out to thousands of people. Or hundreds of people a day, thousands of people a week, and see who opens your email,
Yeah, that part's probably great.
You can, okay, you opened it, but you didn't respond. Okay, here's the next sequence. I mean, there's so many
Well, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, it's always and I think just looking at people or listening to people, like I listen to this guy named Austin Snyder. He talks about like how to run your agency and how to build an authority funnel, how to like get leads, how to figure out your avatar, how to find your niche. And so Alex Hormozy has other content on it. It totally works. Email gets I forgot what the percentage was, like a 43% or 50% of people like are checking it in a sense.
Okay.
So there's a high percentage of like people checking their emails. So it's not like one of those, like in my head, I'm like, bro, who checks their emails? So like who gets deals from emails? But people do. And there's ways where you can get people's attention. Right. Because as you scroll through your emails, there's certain ones that pop up, like, or that stand out.
Absolutely.
And so if you can make yours one of those that stand out, they're not possibly you're not going to get a deal off the first time they open it. But as you continue, they're like, this girl continues to like send me these emails and they're really good. Like, let me see if this is
right. It at least starts the conversation, which I guess, look, so to play devil's advocate for that of why I have been hesitant to jump on the AI wagon with it. Because I think it's great that it can pull a personalized something from their bio. Yeah. What I have been doing, and again, I'm not an expert. I'm not like rolling in. I'm not going to sit here and say like I've had all these like incredible deals. This is just a trial and error, but
it's worked for you.
Some things are working for me, and this is just recent because first of all, like LinkedIn is a newer thing in the last year that I've really tried to utilize, and it's a very underutilized platform for sure. But I think for me, instead of just pulling like a generic line that's like about their what do you call it, job title or their brand. It takes more time.
Of course.
But I like really research, okay, what are some things that are happening in their company? LinkedIn is a great resource for that. I've found a lot of the content that brands will post on LinkedIn is not the same content that they're posting on Instagram, right? So they're more likely to post kind of these behind the scenes moments that are happening on their brands. So I have just found a lot of luck being able to pull something that shows I was really like a real person. Finding out about an event they were involved in or a new product launch that they haven't posted yet on Instagram. So being able to pull that kind of personalized introduction to the email, I've gotten a lot of great responses of, oh, thanks for noticing that our team was involved with this or this product launch. That feels a little more relevant than just a generic
first line. I totally get it.
Oh, I see that you're the marketing director. That feels like anyone could technically do that, or AI could do it.
Anyone.
Now, if you can get me AI to do what I'm doing right now from LinkedIn, like I want to find out something relevant that you're doing in your company, then sign me up. And there might be a program like that.
Let's do this real quick. This is how I use AI. Have you heard of Perplexity?
I have not.
So it's like, let's see if this works. Hey, can you hear me?
Sure thing. Hello. How can I help?
Okay, are you familiar with Instantly?
Yes. Instantly is a tool designed for cold emailers and outreach agencies, automating and streamlining email outreach campaigns.
Okay, nice. So I'm on a podcast right now actively talking about Instantly's AI features and how to incorporate it in our emails and the body of the email. So my question is, I know you can do a personalized line where you can find like maybe the bio of the contact, but are you able to actually, I know it uses LinkedIn's database, are you able to actually look at people's posts, like look at a lead's post and use that as a AI source to personalize the message?
Yes. Instantly offers AI-powered personalization for email campaigns, including dynamic variables like names, job titles, and company info. However, it doesn't explicitly mention analyzing LinkedIn posts to personalize messages. The focus is more on engagement patterns and lead info. Would you like further details or additional features explored?
So the personalized sources hasn't been extended to posts yet. Is that what you're saying that you see?
Correct. From the current available information, Instantly's personalization features focus mainly on variables like names, job titles, and company info, not directly on LinkedIn.
Okay, so I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, well, we're tagging instantly and telling them this is us saying you need to update your features.
Exactly.
And then I'll sign up.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really dope feature. There are ways to do it. It would just it's already expensive to do it. Like, I admit that it's expensive. I just know that it's worth it. And it's kind of one of those things also, like the behind the scenes, like I'm going to give you the real, I'm not going to blow it up bigger than what it is. It's like one of those things, like once you get into it, like you have to have so many emails, right? So each domain can have so many. And once you get them, it's not like you're going to just throw them away or stop paying for them. You're going to keep them because and so, yeah, it can become a lot. But I just think it's worth people considering as a lead source or channel for opportunities because of the ability to scale it. That's just, you can talk to each day. If you just started with 6 mailboxes, each mailbox can do 50 messages a day.
Okay.
And so
now, is it also pulling leads together for you, or are you giving it a list of leads?
it can pull leads for you. So use LinkedIn as a database, and you can put in a whole bunch of filters, like what about the company, like all types of things to get the companies that you want in the area that you want, in the industry, company size, revenue, everything.
Cool.
And so that part is cool.
Yeah.
But
because that can be the hard part sometimes is,
oh yeah,
who am I even trying to target?
absolutely.
You know?
So do you use AI at all for your company?
Chat GPT on a regular basis.
Love it. So it's like for messages and.
Yeah, I mean, I use it for, if I have a client that I'm trying to respond to, and like what's a great professional way to respond to challenging emails, or also just, hey, I have a new idea that I'm trying to brainstorm. I kind of have an idea for a pitch that I want to reach out to a brand. Can you help me?
Love it.
Keep this email short and sweet.
Sure.
But also, it is kind of crazy. Like, I think the other night, it was after you and I were talking. I was like, I'm going to try ChatGPT. Tell me how you would run my business.
Oh, yeah.
It was giving me crazy ideas.
Like good ones?
Good ones, yeah.
Really good ones. Cool. What did you hear?
So I had listed, just talking about even just the athlete angle, and I don't know. I want to try to think of another good one. I think I listed, if I'm focused on female-owned businesses, what are some of the target audience? And I put, Baton Rouge, and it started creating a list of Baton Rouge brands that are women-owned businesses that I should target, and it gave me like a 90-day strategy of, this is the kind of content you should post, and then this is when you should DM these brands. This is their contact. Haven't implemented any of it yet, but it was cool.
You do GPT-5? Like, are you paying for it right now?
I go back and forth, I'll be honest. I started paying for it, and then I was like, I'm not even using this enough. Cancel. And then the other day I was like, maybe I should use it again.
Well, they have agent mode where you could like tell it to do something. Like, say if you wanted it to, hey, build me a list, a table of like, go through each person on that list, go to their website and give me some information about them. Okay. And it'll do that systematically.
Nice.
And
okay.
So GPT-5 has that ability. So I was just wondering if you...
I gotta get on it.
Yeah.
So far, I've really been mostly using it for like, help me plan out my menu for the week, and how do you deal with toddlers? Oh.
like what you're cooking
just
for the family?
Real life ChatGPT.
Yo, that's real. My thing I met a real estate based podcast, and it was ran by two realtors, two ladies. They're both married, like they have lives, but they've been able to successfully run a podcast every Monday for 6 years. And they started like right before COVID. And so
they were ahead of the time with the podcast, really.
And the thing I love about them is the podcast, I'll show the podcast. I won't mention it on but the podcast isn't the biggest, right? It's not the biggest podcast. They don't have the largest following, but let me say podcast. They've made a whole like business out of it. So it's not like just something they do. Like it's a...
Wow. So these are local?
These are local. They're right here. We've met them. They came into our studio. We had a great conversation. They're amazing people. And so they have 8.8 subscribers, 8.8 thousand subscribers. And, you can see, and here, okay, I look at podcasts, or a podcast exists if it's on YouTube for me.
Okay.
Like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I'm not even, so the reality is that there's a lot, right? I'm not a podcast snob. What were you saying?
That's what I said. Are you?
No, well, I listen to a couple of them, but podcasts, like, you could have a podcast on YouTube that does okay, but it could be doing great on Apple Podcasts. And so, but I guess because I just have to see it, like
the visual.
Yeah,
person?
There's some.
Okay.
I mean, do you listen to podcasts?
I do.
Do you listen to them? How do you intake?
Spotify.
So,
but I think
okay, cool.
maybe it's different because I'm in, especially in a season as I'm a mom with a
As you're
toddler,
moving
I'm
around.
on the
I
go.
love that.
So I have to have stuff that's just like, I don't have time to sit. That's a luxury.
John, what about
to
you?
sit.
How do you listen to podcasts? Okay, you watch it?
I just like skip ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, maybe I should put it on YouTube. I'm attempting to start posting weekly videos where I share a different female-founded company.
Yeah.
And it's
I actually saw that.
It's just gonna be my iPhone. I don't even have a microphone because I was like, y'all, I'm tired. Like we do shoots where you have to bring all the gear.
Sure.
I don't want to do
I don't
that
wanna do
every
that
week. I was
anymore.
like, you know what? I've been on TikTok too much and seeing the.
But you have that on your YouTube, like where you went to.
I have it on Instagram and TikTok right now, is where I kind of announced that I was doing it. So I'm in the process of getting my first view.
I saw something, I think it was you, where you like, it wasn't a whole interview, but you like did something with, it was Girls Meets Globe. It's on YouTube.
Is it on my YouTube?
It was back in the day.
So it's a different project, which I've been wanting to pick that up. It's separate.
Okay, cool.
Back during COVID, or on like the tail end of it, I did start a YouTube series. So I guess this is motivating me. I should start it again.
Yeah.
It was just like me and a camera, which now I prefer producing, but
Okay.
this was me, like,
I
sure,
love it.
I'm just going to go on with my camera and poor quality, but I'm excited to meet people again. And I went around and I was interviewing women in town. So that was an amazing series because it was actually about local women. So I was just going around
I saw
for like
that.
30, 45 minutes. And instead of, kind of similar to what we're doing here,
Yeah.
instead of saying, hey, do you want to meet for coffee?
Yeah.
Which I feel like most people are going to say no because they don't have time to do that.
Right.
It was, hey, I really want to meet you and learn about what you're doing. Can we do a quick interview? And I'm going to bring
I
my
think
camera
that's so
and we're
cool.
going to talk. So I did that for probably a year and a half, 2 years. And
How
then
many women did you do all together?
I'm going to have to go back and look. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know, 20 or 30.
Okay, cool.
So, it was just something I was like doing over time.
I
on my
love
own,
that.
trying to do something at least like once a month. That was my goal,
Sure.
was like, I want a creative outlet once a month. So yeah, I mean, I need to do that again. That obviously takes more effort,
Yeah,
but it
of
was
course.
very low production value. It was just about, hey, I'm not trying to bring a camera crew out to go
Yeah.
do this. This is just me and a camera. But more recently, I was setting up just at my home studio with an iPhone of, okay,
Nice.
I want to shout out. It's not about interviewing. It's just shouting out female-owned brands that are not necessarily from here. So maybe
Nice.
it's products,
Sure.
service-based, and just talking
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
Because again, I wanted a creative outlet. And I was like, if I'm waiting for the opportunity to have a big
perfect.
camera
Yeah,
crew,
yeah.
then that's not
Yeah.
always going to happen.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like that takes money and time to
It
ask
does.
crews to come out and film stuff. And I was like, okay, what can I do with my resources? I have an iPhone.
Yeah.
And that's setting the bar low so that I feel like I could
Which is huge.
achieve this and say, I can
Yeah.
do this once a week. I
Yeah.
can set up my iPhone and pick products about brands that I'm excited just personally to try or tell other people
Yeah.
about.
No, that's huge. And what I'm learning about content is that it's about consistency. So whatever you can do, like, and
What's
I always have
manageable.
exactly. I'm always trying to overachieve. Like, man, I want it to look like this, but reality is, can you continue to do it? And I feel like the algorithm favors consistency as
Yeah.
well.
All right, well, you're motivating me. Maybe I should get back
Yeah.
on the YouTube series. But hey, at least the iPhone, this is encouraging because it is. That's
Yeah.
the point of, look, if it's just about being consistent and is there an outlet that excites you to keep doing it every
Yeah.
single week or every other week,
Yeah.
then what does that look
Yeah,
like? And then maybe
absolutely.
you grow over time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you should definitely do it. So what is the goal? I know it's like to have those conversations, but for you, is there like a content or like I want to, is there like an awareness or reach goal behind it, or was it just like this is a project that's just been dear to my heart as far as with the ladies?
For the YouTube series or for the
one
products that I'm doing?
The recent.
Yeah. Honestly, it was I'm just excited. Because it's my world and I'm very in the loop on women founded companies. So those are the types of things popping up in my algorithm. So I did feel like it was an interesting way to talk about those brands and also organically interact with those brands. Okay, so yeah, I mean, long term, the goal would be, hey, it starts a conversation because you're tagging those brands.
Of course.
I've already found engagement from one of those brands of just, hey, like they appreciate people talking on an unsponsored post about their product. So it has been a really organic way to start a conversation with some of those brands. So the hope would be, maybe down the road, it's an easy way to then email them and reach out to them and introduce yourself because there's somewhat of a connection there. And then if that doesn't happen, it's still just, hey, I'm getting to tell other people about women-owned brands and support them and shout out. Of course. And we love that.
Yeah. I think that, so would you say other brands should do that? Like take that opportunity of like, where there could be like a cold, like I feel like when you say, hey, look, I'm going to, instead of just doing like a, come meet me for coffee, like I'm going to bring my camera, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I feel like that's a new way or an opportunity to, number one, learn about people and to get to know people, but also have like, you're offering something. They can use that content later.
Content,
I think it's such a cool thing. So would you feel like other brands can benefit from that?
Yes. I mean, and maybe it's more specifically for our industry because honestly, now I'm just getting convicted and motivated that I should be doing this more because what's genuinely crazy about the YouTube series, it was so low production value in my mind, right? Like I have high expectations.
It looked great.
Now I'm like, I can't believe I was running around with a camera by myself. But genuinely, it opened the door for conversations and I got clients out of that long term from maybe it wasn't immediate.
Like some of those ladies
eventually like called back and said, hey, I had such a great interaction with you. And now that I'm ready to do branding content or commercial work, you came to mind. Yeah. And that actually wasn't even the intention when I started the project, but it felt great that it was a really organic way to meet people that doesn't feel forced and you're not pressuring someone and it's not salesy and they get to see you in a low risk environment to see how you guys work together.
I think it works. It gives, like you said, it gives value. It's instant value to them because they get a piece of content. People love to share about themselves. It's centered on them. But then again, it's content for you. It's awareness and reach for you. They now know you.
Like 9 out of 10, they're going to post and share it.
Of course. So no, I think that's honestly was one of the thoughts behind doing this was because instead of just doing a normal conversation, you could just, hey, let's do
it in front of cameras, right?
Do it in front of camera. What are you learning right now? Did we hit that? And is there something that's piquing your interest? I know the UGC side is something you're looking to grow into. Is there something like either what are you learning or what are you used to grow? What are you used to learn? Like what do you listen to like inspire you with business, to grow you with business, etc.?
I mean, really until recently, probably, I don't know, maybe the last year. I think because I didn't have a lot of, the local scene was not what I was, my target audience. Okay. So there was a part of myself and my business that I kind of removed myself from the community here because I just, in my mind, I wasn't needing the community here as much because that wasn't my target audience. So, a couple of years ago, I guess I would have said, okay, I'm heavily relying on YouTube and podcasts to learn and this online community. But I think in the last year, once I finally kind of pivoted a little bit to say, okay, I'm going to lean into the local community, even if that's not always who I'm trying to target.
Okay.
I think the community here the last year has been so valuable to me of ways that I've learned. When I kind of put an ego to the side of, okay, I just don't need to be the most talented person in the room. I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. I don't need to let myself be intimidated by these people if it's going to keep me from being in those circles. when you're putting that ego to the side and you realize like, wow, these people are just people too, and they have a lot that I can learn from. In reality, I feel like I've learned a lot from just saying, okay, let's put ego to the side. And they obviously are very successful. Like if we're talking about people in town that are successful, there's a reason they're successful.
Exactly.
So I want to be in that circle.
Yeah. I think that's huge. Putting your ego to the side can serve you so much in business in general, that just if you use that as a principle and just like, putting it to the side, I love that. I'm typically, and I need to do more networking, like reaching out to people. I need to do so much more of that. I think I learned so much online and like through digital, like podcast or researching stuff, that man, you feel like you could just accelerate so much faster when you just connect with people, because they can say something. Or many times we've gotten some of our biggest clients from other creatives that just say, hey, look, I'm not outfitted to do this project and you guys
1,000%.
And you wouldn't believe it. They've just sent us people. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, 1,000%. Which is crazy. You wouldn't think that, but I think
never.
It works and people don't realize it.
Especially when you have a good heart and you make sure that they're good, or you try to make, they know that, hey, this person isn't going to try to get over on me, or if there was an opportunity that I had, I would give it to them.
Right.
Yeah, that's been a huge one. But reaching out to people and networking is a huge resource. It's almost, for me, I need to like make a number that I want to hit each week. Like, okay, I want to reach out to somebody new locally, not just like for on a client basis, but like networking in my own sphere.
Okay, which crazy story about that was very inspirational. One of the last shoots we did here, we had to DoorDash something. I don't even remember what it was, but shout out, DoorDash. You can get anything. Like it wasn't even food related. It was something the model forgot.
DoorDash isn't just food?
Yeah, it was crazy.
You can go to,
maybe I'm making it up. Maybe I'm thinking of Instacart. Sorry, it was one of those, we had to get something. So the driver showed up and was dropping off. And of course, I think everyone always is like, what are you guys doing here? Yeah. And she pulled out her business card and she was like, I'm a realtor and this is just like my day job that I decided to pick up because I have a goal of meeting a new person every single day to hand out my business card.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
That's huge.
So I have her contact info in my phone, and I still remember that okay, I seriously admire
of course.
The goal of I'm going to hand out my business card and introduce myself to someone every day, even when it's awkward and uncomfortable.
And she was doing the DoorDash because of that? Like that's what she said.
Yeah, she was like, "Look,
huge.
I just decided this was an easy way to make extra money and also get in front of people that I wouldn't ordinarily get in front of."
No, that's huge. That's a huge commitment and dedication to go that far. I love that. What should you be doing more of that you aren't? I'll go off that. I need to be networking more and reaching out to other creatives, other business owners. Because I've always realized when I've had a week where I've had a lot of meetings or just a lot of introductions, or not only do I feel better about my business, I feel like the business grows a lot. I feel like the business is in like a growth moment, because I'm like, there's so many connections that are being made that either if it's, labor related or like team or people that I can use for other projects, or if it's a direct client relation, it's just, money doesn't grow on trees, it grows in people's pockets. So like when you are talking to people, that's that's a good day,
Yeah. You're motivating me.
Yeah. That's what I need to be doing more of. And also, and on the opposite side of Jessi, not opposite, you're on the fence, but I need to be getting my cold email set up together. I started yesterday. It's just it's a task, but I think the reason I'm sticking by it is because the first week when I ran it, I got one client.
Which is, this is huge.
Bro, I need to keep this.
I mean, what I want to do is have a check-in a few months from now, and you can give us the data on it, right?
Yeah. Once I figure it out, I think what I need to do is, so one thing that I do when I need help with certain like niche things that I'm not able to find someone, okay, not not able to find is the wrong word. I haven't actually like taken the steps to
Sure.
find someone locally, which is another question I'll ask you later. Is I'll go on like either Facebook groups, Facebook
Okay.
community groups, Fiverr, and I'll reach out to all of these people and tell them to like email me or something
Okay.
for this like niche service or like SEO or like fast short form video edits early
Yeah.
before John was here. So that's been able to get me into like, man, we need help with this certain area. So that's something that I probably will do with cold email is find
Yeah.
someone who can like help make sure everything's running right, because there's a techie side to it. And I feel like because of that techie side, keep pushing it off.
Right.
So-
I mean, that's probably why I'm sticking with manual emailing.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think that as every business owner, you have to get to the point where you're reevaluating, okay, what can I outsource? Even if you feel like you really can't afford to, there are some small things that you probably could outsource. That's a better use of your time.
Absolutely.
So I'm learning that, trying to get help with all these manual emails. I was like, AI or hiring someone,
Sure.
we'll see.
Well, I think for you, you've seen like, you can count on a couple of hands like how many clients you've gotten from emails.
Yes.
Yeah, so with that being a major portion of your business and it being like the ability to scale that operation is super high. Like there's certain things that's hard to scale, right? Certain areas like the things that you do that, okay, it's hard to scale this, but that
Outreach. Yeah, I know. You're right.
you can scale it. But so how do you get, like, how do you find like a team, like help on your team? So say if there's something that, I know you have some amazing guys that help you with video side, but are there other things that you've used or like, man, I need somebody to help me with this. This is what I used to find this person. This worked out, or
I use Upwork a lot
Okay, cool.
for some random freelance stuff. If it's smaller stuff, right?
Cool.
Okay, I have a quick, simple edit, or to your point, like maybe it's
nice.
some email marketing I need help with, or small things. I think that can be a really cost-efficient way if you are not ready to hire a part-time or full-time employee, and you just need
Nice.
to test the waters of,
Yeah.
okay, or maybe it's seasonal, right? Where I have a goal where I really want to send X amount of emails, or I need to do this in this season. That's an easy way to just kind of not have to commit to this big new employee that you feel like you might be in over your head.
Right.
To
Yeah, thanks for reminding me about Upwork. See, is that like how often you use it, or is it just every once in a while?
It's every once in a while,
nice.
and that might be a basic look. I'm sure all my graphic designer friends will be terrified and yell that I say occasionally I've done it on Upwork. I
Sure.
try not to, but it just depends on your budget. Like,
Yeah, of
truthfully, if you're in a
course.
tight place, the thing that is great about Upwork is it helps you, I feel like, not make the excuse of, well, I can't afford to hire someone, so I'm not going to do it. It's okay. There are affordable options. It's not going to necessarily maybe be the best,
Right.
but it is something to get
move
you
the ball
closer
forward.
to
Yeah, I totally agree.
where you want to go.
That's a huge
And
one.
then, of course, just, networking with people, word of mouth. I feel like locally too. That's huge.
Just asking,
You're gonna.
like-
It's the same thing as any business. So you're like, I'm gonna hire a web designer or a graphic designer that when I have the nice budget, I'm gonna hire someone
Yeah.
that someone recommends because we trust recommendations.
course.
That's why testimonials are so impactful and valuable, because we genuinely do just trust what other people are doing
That's
and
good.
recommend.
That's really good. That's really good.
Last question. Okay. I mean, I might would do
Or you can go
the.
off the cups if you want to do
I
something.
mean, I thought the $10,000, $100,000 one's interesting.
that's
I don't even know if I have the best answer to that, but I think as a small business owner, it would always be so nice to not have to wear all the hats. So for sure, a next step for me, I would love to have, more help on the marketing side of great, and actually be able to not just have to go on Upwork, but hire an employee that can help handle the marketing and the strategy side of my own business,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
that's huge.
it frees you up. That's of course the struggle, right? As an
That's good.
entrepreneur,
Yeah.
especially when you're creative, and that's the part you love the most.
Yeah.
Is that's what fires you up, is the creative process and the ideas, and then this other side of your business that's really hard and kind of drains you.
Yep.
So for me, of course, that's always next step and goal is, to be able to just grow the team, to handle tasks that free me up to do what I'm really good at doing.
So after marketing or like sales, what else would you outsource?
I mean, I can't actually say I have already been doing this the last few years, which was a game changer for me, is I don't do my own taxes anymore.
Oh, nice.
And I have to say, I have to be very intentional with I just save money aside throughout the year so that I know how much it costs now to pay someone at the end of the year to go through my bookkeeping for me. And I'm sure some people would have sticker shock as an entrepreneur to be like, you pay that much money for someone to do your bookkeeping and do your taxes. But for me, the last few years, it was such a game changer I found so much value in someone doing that for me rather than me pulling my hair out and stressed out at the end of the year, that it's just something that now I just budget for every year. I love it.
And so they're going through and letting you know like what your year was like as far as the bookkeeping?
They go through and I should send them to you guys. They're not actually a local person, but they specialize in helping with photographers, videographers. So they know all the secret sauce of what write-offs can really count and what don't count. And so it's very efficient and it's worth.
How'd you find them?
I think a Google search, honestly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. A couple of years ago. Yeah. Because I actually had an experience that wasn't that great. Okay. And then I was like, surely there's got to be someone that is good at this. And then I think specifically for people in our industry, I think it was very helpful to have someone that specializes in that because it is different. Yeah. I think that was maybe the problem when I went to someone that didn't specialize with entrepreneurs and photographers, that they just weren't as in the know on. And
taxes is one of those things where you need someone to know.
You need them to know.
Yeah.
And especially, you don't know. I have a home studio, so there's a lot of things that they're able to, they know things of how to write things off that is so valuable to me. So I did start doing that a few years ago. And truthfully, I probably recommend that even before sales and marketing help, because it's just I think I was spending like weeks at the end of every year where I was so stressed out about taxes and prep. You're so afraid the IRS is going to come after you with the little bit of money that you're putting in your account, and you're like, they truthfully don't care, but it feels like the end of the world, like you inputted it wrong, right?
Absolutely. TurboTax was your go-to?
Oh yeah, of course. You're like, I'm doing this right, I guess.
I've actually never done my tax. Mel wife has done her taxes with TurboTax. I feel like if you can do that and it all works and you're still alive, I feel like you should.
More power to you guys then. I admire that. I think it is not my gift.
We don't do that anymore. Okay. She used to do that like when we were dating, and she was letting me know that she did her own taxes. I was like, bro, you should be it's paid. It's a skill set.
Yeah, it is. And it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. I think if at the 10K, so if I just got 10K to grow my business, I think, I think sales. Either sales like the code emo side. I've toiled with the idea of putting my company through like a agency coaching deal. There's one I've been eyeing where they literally will implement a lot of systems into your company for you. Help you run. We'll set up this thing called an authority funnel where you like post a lot of content that basically builds you as an authority and brings in inbound leads. So instead of you going out for outbound leads, it brings people into your DMs, and then you can start a conversation that you kind of like tailor make, and then you can just and then they're qualified when they're. For them to be in your DMs, they're highly likely to be qualified. And so they just create this huge kind of like sales system for you, and it helps you like the whole thing from the sales to the fulfillment. And so that probably is what I would do with, and it's only, I think it's like 6. So I would, I would do it with, which I've been considering it, but I would do that. And then maybe cold email, like paying someone to really help on that side.
Hone in on that. Yeah. I would actually also add, I went for the first time this past summer to this entrepreneur festival. It was for women. It was in LA. Nice. It's this huge festival. And so it was my first time going to one of that scale.
Okay, cool.
And, I mean, it's not a crazy expense, but it's still, you have to be intentional if you're traveling to go to any kind of conference or network. So it's still an expense. But that was something that I had the most incredible time just hearing from panel after panel of successful business owners, that when I left there, I genuinely was like, okay, this should be a part of my marketing plan, is to regularly be going to these types of events where you're just learning so many things and being in the room with other successful people and outside of Baton Rouge, right? Because of course there's hugely successful people here, but when you're talking about a conference where people are coming in from all over the world and they're bringing panels together of people that you might never be in the same room with again, to get a chance to hear from them is so valuable.
Of course.
So haven't figured out the exact plan to that, but I would say getting to make that a priority every year of some kind of, it's an extended networking opportunity, right? Absolutely. But you're just also learning.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's what creatives or business owners in general don't do enough of. Because once you get into the grind, you get into it, and it's usually you don't stop until, most people don't stop, but you just keep going into it. Yeah. But to take time and to learn, to intentionally put yourself in, and it's really cool because you can do it digitally and not leave and really get impacted. But even to go as far as to go to a conference out of state or pay for a coaching program, like I feel like that's I need to do more of it. But I feel like business owners in general should just be like staying a student.
Yes,
and I feel like as long as you can be a student, it's just a way to go. Because the moment, again, like when your ego gets like, man, I've done this, or like, hey, we hit this mark. Always realizing that there's somebody doing it much better than you, and bringing in, I think, like when I look at some of the, owners and founders of like billion-dollar companies, right? They're always talking about how they're the dumbest person in the room. Like they literally hire the smartest people so that they can be the most, the person that doesn't know the most, and they can always be asking questions. Like, I don't pay you to bring up questions. I pay you to answer them.
Right.
And so the only way to do that is your ego has to be like in check.
Yeah.
Like,
and be willing to say, I'll go, and be attentive and listen. And
absolutely.
Obviously at those types of events too, it feels weird, but you also have an opportunity to introduce yourself to a lot of people and network, and that's uncomfortable, and it would be easy to just go sit there in your seat and listen and then leave. So to be able to say, okay, again, let me put my ego to the side and go meet some new people and introduce myself.
Exactly. I think that's it.
Well, thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thanks for coming. We did it.